Bir şeye gidelim.
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the
Tamam,
morning.
buna bakmıştık, tamam. Buna baktık. Mecbur gideceğiz, sorgulayacağız herkesi ya. Şimdi Fitz'e tekrar gidelim. Oradan geri döneriz böyle. Gel bakayım. Seni sorgulamış mıydık? Tamamen. Evet. Evet, tamam. Tamam, sen işine bak. Dedektif. Sana hepsini sormuşuz. Bunları soralım.
Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on either side of a mansion.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
He wants to know
Merak
if we found
ettik.
any secret rooms.
I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for
Ama o
anything like
arplı
that.
heykeli açamadık. Orayı açarsak orada bir oda var.
You truly consider this a case file?
What's wrong with it?
No organization, no system.
That's
Acemiyiz.
spot
İlk
on.
defa yapıyoruz böyle bir
I
şey.
like seeing everything laid out at once. Yeah, it helps me think.
How quaint. Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the heart?
Çözemedik.
We're working on it.
That's a no then.
Hoşuna gitti değil mi?
Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No?
No. Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine
Doğru
every
söylüyor kadın.
avenue of thinking. You got it open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
It was empty yesterday, too.
It was. Perhaps it's always been empty. A somewhat cumbersome device, and an altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
Evet,
What
artık
kind of
başka yerler
music do
dinliyoruz.
you like, HawskShaw?
I like anything.
What a cop-out.
I believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last. The paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed.
Do you know that? How? Because you were told?
Evet, cevap ver. Kadına cevap ver. Bakma öyle.
Paints?
Yep.
Paints.
Mm-hmm.
Some breed of amphibious humanoid. Potentially bipedal. Although none of the statues show the creature's feet.
I guess we'll never know.
Is that a clue?
Dunno. It was important enough to be framed, though.
I framed my
Soruyoruz işte
law
her şeyi.
degree doesn't make it a clue.
Kadın bizden zeki yalnız.
Yeah?
Who's that?
Not sure. It doesn't really look like anyone we've met so far.
Strange. Where did you find this?
Do you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it.
I have several theories.
Söyle
They are
bakalım.
my theories, and I'm not going to share them.
Bu bir soruşturma, tamam, paylaşman lazım.
A book
Nasıl
from the
çözeceğiz?
library. One of hundreds, no doubt.
Ah,
What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that.
kadın bizden zeki
A
çıktı.
diary. Have you read it?
Not yet. It's locked.
And you haven't attempted to force it open?
That would be cheating. This belongs to you, HawskShaw?
Correct.
And, what
Ne
is it?
bu?
It's my handheld microscope for up-close investigation work.
What do you magnify with it?
Trace particles, dust, oils, clothing fibers.
Have
Kadın
you used
bilimsel
it for the
çalışıyor.
Tangle Tower?
I have. I used it to examine the greenhouse only 2 days ago.
What were you looking for?
That is between myself and my client. This is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
I don't know. I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think you'd be surprised as to what people leave lying around.
En gizli şey ortada olan şey değil mi?
One of 3 statues depicting the same creature. This one is wearing headphones. Perhaps they belong to someone who likes music.
They're not headphones. They're earmuffs for blocking out sound.
Perhaps they belong to someone who doesn't like music.
Şakacı şey.
Do you also have a pile of leaves as a clue?
Oh, not yet. Did you see some suspicious leaves?
A photograph of Freya. Could be important. I admit, it's powerful. Freya was a talented young woman.
Someone even liked it enough
Güzel
to take a
tabloymuş
photo.
gerçekten.
Now, we don't know why they took the photograph, do we? Perhaps they just wanted it for reference.
When did Freya draw the picture of you, HawskShaw?
I didn't model for her, if that's what you're asking. She must have done it without my permission.
Could just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others anyway.
Evet, Fifi
I'd tell him not to quit his day
bu
job.
dedektif ve şey
But he
arasına
hasn't
geçiyor
got
bakalım.
one, has he?
Fitz arasına geçiyor.
These figurines remind me of a case I once solved involving a possessed doll. Turned out to be a bit of a smokescreen, as these things often do.
Your life sounds fun. Grimoire, why don't we ever have fun adventures like that?
Are we not having a fun adventure?
Vallahi eğlenceli ama yoruldum be ya. Grimoire, çözecekseniz çözün artık şunu hadi.
3 birds, 1 cage. What makes them worth keeping cooped up, I wonder? Would they not be happier flying free?
But then they might fly away from Tangle Tower entirely.
I wonder if they would.
Evet. Bunu da herkes sorguladık. Tamam. Pekala. Bir sana gelelim şimdi. Şu müzisyeni yaptık, tamam. Gel tatlım gel. Evet, şuradan başla bakalım. Şuradan başla.
What is your opinion of Tangle Tower?
Oh, it's impressive. Elaborate gardens, unique architecture.
Must be worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
I am the heir of the Fellow family and the Remington family. This makes me the sole beneficiary of Tangle Tower.
That's
Oh.
quite an inheritance.
They can't make you do anything, Fifi. If you don't want the house, just tell them. Or just sell it. Who cares?
You sound like her.
Kimin gibi?
I require facts. What do you know?
Well, we know Freya was stabbed with a knife, and then she fell.
Correction. She was stabbed with something. There was no knife found at the crime scene,
Apart
Aynen.
from the one in the painting.
which as a mere abstract representation does not count.
Evet.
Nobody has ever been stabbed by the concept of a knife.
Evet.
Curious. Freya is normally highly skilled at capturing someone's likeness, but in this painting, she has accidentally made Flora look quite
Hadi
young.
ya. Ama yanında öyle deme,
I
sana
think she
kızabilir
was just
çünkü.
being kind.
Why is that kind? Anyway, I'm far more interested in what Flora is holding. I performed a test on the red paint myself. I discovered that it was in fact not paint.
Tamam, onu biliyoruz.
What made you want to test it in the first place?
It
Evet.
was Poppy. She told me she thought the painting looked like a bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. My mother owns no such knife. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark, and the substance itself was overly
Zeki
viscous.
çocuksun lan.
You
Sevdim seni.
noticed that just from
Ama
looking at
katil
it
sen
once?
çıkmazsın umarım.
Of course,
Umuyorum yani.
that belongs to my mother. I think she must be fond of eggs. There are a number of egg-shaped carvings to be found in the garden and in the grand hall.
Yeah, what's the deal with all the eggs?
Some people just like eggs. The gramophone belongs to Poppy, but I believe she gave it to my mother, and my mother often loaned it to Freya. Or maybe it is the other way around.
When did it get cracked?
Haberin var mı öyle bir
Not
şeyden?
pinpoint it exactly.
Ama
All I
hatırlıyorsun.
know is that it must have happened sometime in
Neden
the
öyle bir
last
şey diyorsun?
2
2 gün
days.
içinde. Ne oldu? Ne oldu o 2 güne? Kaset de kırılmış.
Is
Ne
she
gülüyorsun lan?
laughing?
Püh,
The
komik bir
red
şey var
paint
şimdi.
on
yani.
the brush is not paint. It is blood. Same for
Oh.
the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
I
Cevap
do
ver,
not
her
know
şeyi
the
biliyordun.
answer.
Senin namussuz seni.
Fifi, did you test the red paint in this pot?
Yes, I did. I discovered it too was blood, not paint.
A whole pot full of blood?
Ama
Not a
kimin
whole
kanı?
pot. It is only partially full.
Yeah, but still. Doesn't that freak you out?
No. In fact, it may be considered rather reassuring. Why did Poppy leave shards of glass all over this statue?
What makes you think it was Poppy?
The statue lives in the music room. Who else would it be? An item from Poppy's childhood. Her earliest piano lessons hold some special significance for her.
Why's that?
No idea. She has never graced me with the details, and I am not forthcoming enough to ask.
You two are friends, right?
We are, yes.
But...
Ama
It is clear to me now that Poppy has become tired of my company.
is it anything to do with Freya?
Oh, no. The changes in Poppy's mood have nothing to do with Freya. Her concerns simply lie elsewhere.
neymiş o? Gene gülüyor.
Who is that in the photo?
I'm quite sure that I have no idea.
Niye gülüyorsun? Bunda güldün. Kasette de güldün. Sende bir şey var
Now,
ama
this
tamam.
is interesting. Where did you find it?
In the astronomy tower.
And yet, it does not concern the field of astronomy.
Nope.
In fact, you could even say that entomology is the exact opposite of astronomy.
Yeah. You could.
I would not say that, however.
Oh. You wouldn't?
No, it would be quite naive. To study science in any field is to study the connections between all matter in the universe, living or inanimate.
Şimdi 4 yazıyor. Başka bir yerde rakam var mı? Herhangi bir sayı. Olabilir yani. Bilmiyorum. Neyse.
Do you know who was reading this book?
It belongs to my mother.
And she left it in the library?
No, my mother has not been in the library for some time. A book. My book.
Evet.
And what's in it?
Pages. This belongs to Professor Pointer, does it not?
Aha.
No, I don't think so.
Who else would own such a pointless little telescope?
It's a telescope.
Oh, yes. It has a telescopic lens. It can only be used for looking at things that are far away.
Bir dakika şimdi. Poppy ve dedektif buna bir dakika ya, orada bir karışıklık var. Mikroskop dedi buna dedektif. Ha? Öyle olmadı mı? Dedektif o benim mikroskopum dedi. Değil mi? Ama Fifi buna bir teleskop diyor. Profesör Pointer'ın dedi. Neyse bakalım.
That blade.
It's a troll for gardening.
It is.
What's wrong?
Earmuffs do not go on statues. What a mess. Penelope should tidy up after herself.
These weren't dropped by Penny. They were dropped by birds, I think.
My argument stands. This photograph is my favorite photograph.
So, why'd you rip it in half?
That was not me. Besides, it was not a half that was ripped off.
Ya bu kız da
It
çok
was
teknik
only a
ya.
third.
İyi ki Twitter'da falan
I
takip
believe
etmiyor bizi ha.
Freya was attempting to
Habire
communicate
düzeltirdi.
something through this painting.
Ya da biz onu
Any
takip
idea what it
etmiyoruz.
was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing above it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever. There is a drawing of me, a drawing of Detective HawskShaw, and a drawing of Poppy and Fitz. A wooden carving of my father, made by my father. Although, now that I look at it, I do not understand how he was able to paint the red parts without any red paint. It is a model of Freya, made by my father.
A model of Flora, you mean?
And a man with a beard. And a little red and white creature.
Why would my father make a model of Freya?
Onu bilmiyorsun, sen
I am
söyleyeceksin.
scared of birds.
Why?
It is an irrational fear. I have no suitable explanation.
Oh,
Evet. Bu da tamam.
there's something about that diary we found in Fifi's room. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
There's something about HawskShaw''s handheld microscope. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
This little microscope thing, you said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense if you knew what my client had asked me to find.
İyi ve şüpheli bir şey
Of course,
bulduk
I
bari.
still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, HawskShaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
Ne arıyordu?
That's not right.
Neyi bulmak için aranıyordu acaba?
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
Ne yani, bu mu?
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
That's not right. O zaman... Tamam, sırayla gidiyoruz kuşlar.
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
That's not right.
That's not right. That's not right.
Ah,
That's not right.
tamam lan, sırayla gidiyorum.
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
Neyi bulması için geldi buraya bu?
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
Aha,
Not as
böcek.
hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects.
Ama zekice davranamadık
Could
tabii
easily
burada.
kept the
Her
beetles
şeyi
hidden
denedik.
in
Öyle
there.
herkes bulur.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse. It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
Bir tarafa oluştur çünkü... Çünkü... Çünkü...
The handheld microscope was created by Fifi to use a telescopic lens, so HawskShaw lied about it. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
El mikroskobu Fifi tarafından oluşturuldu çünkü... Fifi'nin göz cihazı. Eee...
The handheld microscope was created by Fifi to
Kız çünkü
use. Fifi's
gözleri
idea,
değiştirin
so
demişti.
HawskShaw lied about it. Nope.
Ne o diyorsun peki? Onun aslında mikroskop olmadığını düşünmek için bir sebep var mı? Çünkü Fifi tarafından oluşturuldu. O bir teleskop, bir lens. Yani Fifi onu çaldı.
The handheld microscope was created by Fifi to use a telescopic lens, so HawskShaw lied about it. Almost. Maybe
Tamam.
just change one.
En mikroskobu şunun bir teleskop, bir lens.
The
Böyle diyelim.
handheld microscope is a part of a telescopic lens, so HawskShaw lied about it. Almost. Maybe just change one
Ay.
thing.
Bir dakika şöyle yapalım.
The handheld microscope,
Fifi çalmış
according
olabilir.
to HawskShaw, uses a microscopic lens, so Fifi stole it. That's not right.
Değil, tamam. Değilmiş.
The handheld microscope, according to HawskShaw, uses a microscopic lens, so HawskShaw was honest. That's not right either. The handheld microscope, according to HawskShaw, uses a microscopic lens, so HawskShaw stole it. That's not right either.
Pekala.
The handheld microscope, according to HawskShaw, uses a microscopic lens, so HawskShaw lied about it. That's not right either.
Teleskop bir lens, evet.
The handheld microscope,
Aynen,
according
şimdi
to
o.
Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so HawskShaw
Bulduk.
lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
HawskShaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure.
Ben karar verememiştim ne olacağımı. Hala da karar veremedim ya.
At 15, I decided
Ne olsam
instead to
bilmiyorum.
apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you
Nasıl
bring
yani?
it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
Aha. Hadi bakalım. Başka kimse var mı? Soru işareti şu an yok. Bir gidelim buna bakalım.
Is this your diary, Fifi? We found it in your bedroom.
Of course it is mine. Ridiculous question.
Why is it locked up like that?
You seriously require an explanation. Very well. A fairly common concept, the so-called secret diary, is favored in particular by girls between the ages of 10.
Evet,
So there
haklısın.
are secrets written here?
This particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
Günlük Fifi'nin ve o günlüğü Fifi kullandı.
It's not a diary at all.
I'm not sure about that.
Me neither.
This particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
It's somebody else's diary.
How could you arrive at that conclusion? It is kept in my
Salladık.
bedroom. It is mine.
We need a clue to compare with the diary. Something to prove who the original owner was. Let's take a closer look at this.
Bunlar boş.
That's not a sentence. We still need to highlight a detail of each clue.
Ha, tamam şimdi oldu. Bu mavi kitap
Fifi is the opposite of the secret diary,
Olmaz.
which proves it belonged to Freya. Nope.
Tamam.
This blue book was
Bu da
hidden
olmadı.
inside the metal lock, which proves it belonged to Freya. That's not right. This blue book is
Evet.
the same thing as the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya.
You were hiding Freya's diary in your room, and you kept it locked, too.
Why would I do either of these things?
Neden yapmış olsun? Şöyle diyelim. Feraye kimsenin şu konuda şüpheli diyor.
Freya was always suspicious of drawings that everyone knew about. Nope.
Tamam bulacağım dur. Feraye zaten şu konuda şüpheliydi. Hangi konuda?
Freya was always suspicious of personal secrets kept
Hangi
in her
konuda
bedroom.
şüpheliydi?
That's not right. Freya was always suspicious
değil.
of Fifi kept in her bedroom. That's not right either.
Peki sen?
Freya was always.
değil.
That's not right either.
Feraye zaten şu konuda şüpheliydi. Hangi konuda? Bahçeye gömüldü. Günlüğü yok etti. Kişisel sırlar hakkında bir şey bilmiyordu. Fifi,
Personal secret. That's not right either. Personal secret. That's
Değil,
not
değil.
right either.
eee, çizimler hakkında bir şey bilmiyordu.
Drawings. Didn't know about. That's not right either.
Belki de Fifi Ferhan günde ne yazdığını görmemizi istemiyordur. He tamam. Belki de Fifi Ferhan günde ne yazdığımızı görmemizi istemiyordur. Fifi zaten şu konuda günlüğü yok etti. Önündeki kişisel sırları görmesini
Fifi
istemiyordu.
didn't
Evet.
want anyone to see personal secrets within Freya's
Çözdük
diary.
çözdük.
Is this true, Fifi?
I know Freya was your friend, but if you're trying to hide something,
You did not know Freya, so this might be difficult to understand. She did her own thing, in her own way. By concealing Freya's written accounts, it is simply my intention to preserve her innocence.
Innocence?
might be easier if you just let us read the diary, Fifi.
Very well. I will open it. However, as you read it, please remember, Freya was the most kind and the most wise person I have ever known.
All right, Fifi unlocked the diary.
Finally. What's in there?
Geri döndü. Bu sefer canlı. Ben mi yaptım? Dışarı çıkmasına izin mi verdim? Belki de o tabloyu parçalamalıyım. Ruh taşıyıcı işe yarıyor. Etkileyici ve küçücük bir şey. 2 tane var. 2 tane daha lazım. Ruh taşıyıcı. Ortaya giden yolu buldum. Arpa kıyası çok daha kolay. Onları gördüm. Peşini de. Gözleri siyahla kapatılmış. Her şeye rağmen tutmam gereken bir sözüm var. Elimden geleni yapacağım. Arkadaş gelecek birisi ona iyi gelir. Allah Allah. Şüpheli şüpheli bu. Şüpheli bu. Ne olacak şimdi? Öf. Penny ile konuşmalıyız. Penny kim?
She's a most unsavory little... She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow.
Sen de kuş gibi olmuşsun ya.
I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility. Did you not know that? Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me.
Hocam bu bilgiler okuldan sonra ne işimize yarayacak? Sorusu gibi oldu.
A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I
Oo,
dare say
doldurmuş
I'm
4
a
saat.
little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her though, really. Always felt like she
Neyse
could
bunu
have done
sorgulayayım da ondan
better
sonra
than settle for
bitireceğim bölümü
Felix.
artık.
Ouch.
I said it.
Daha bir sürü var ya.
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable. She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the
Kafasında
birds.
kuş varmış harbiden. Balık
Sometimes she'd ask
sanmıştım
me
onu.
their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her. But she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
Pekala.
She mostly ignores me if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh, you don't need to.
Oh no, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it. Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input. Oh, she's beautiful.
Aa benmişim. Kimmiş bu yakışıklı? Aa benmişim oldu.
Is that me? Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like one too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
Pekala. Girelim eşyalara.
There used to be all kinds of birds here at Tangle Tower. The most fascinating breeds, all totally unique.
Used to be? There are birds all over the place.
Most of them are rather ordinary, I'm afraid.
What happened to the non-ordinary ones?
That is a very good question.
Buradan devam edelim.
It's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you?
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd
Yani
have
normal.
no reason to
Alışkanlıktan
stay.
dolayı.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But
Hadi
no,
bakalım.
any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest. Finally, I get to see a detective's
Gör bakalım
case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Well, only last week I asked that miserable HawskShaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist.
Pekala.
Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue. I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling. Don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence,
Bu
bless.
çok enerjik bir kadın ya. İyi ki bunu sorguluyoruz şu saatte.
Gaudy old
Yoksa
thing,
ölecektim
isn't
valla.
it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo.
Hey yo.
Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama
Anafon.
on account of it belonging to her mother.
Toprağın şey
That's cute.
tebeson
yes,
dediği gibi.
adorable.
Telefona tebeson diyor. Tebeson. Tebeson.
Terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
Hiç mi?
Oh, that's rather sad. Freya doesn't take very good care of her paints, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian. Had her own priorities.
Beni doğru soruları sormuyoruz ya. Sırayla gitmemek lazım.
Ooh, a secret diary.
Önemli şeyleri sormak lazım.
That's our guess too.
Excellent.
Şunu
I
söyle.
must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you. Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha,
Tabata, Tamara ve
Tamara,
Tatiana.
and Tatiana.
I've already forgotten all 3 of those names.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana
Well, I
is the
thought-
oldest. Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? He's just my hat. He doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
İnanılmazsınız çocuklar.
Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? Thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her.
Belki de çıkmamıştır yani.
I
Bilemiyoruz.
can't decide what's worse. How she looks here or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is?
Oh.
In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no
Kendisi.
idea.
Bilmekti ama.
Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I... Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one, well, it was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The
O
very
tüyler kuşa mı ait
last.
acaba?
Oh.
Ne kaldı? Mikroskop.
I don't know what that is. Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right. Lovely. Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style. I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew.
Ay.
Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes.
Şimdi Jesse Çelum öyle bir şey vardı. Bir dedektiflik oyunu yine. Onu da almıştım ben. Fakat orada konuşmaları böyle seslendirerek yapmamışlar. Tırırt tırırt tırırt daktilo sesi gibiydi. Çok bayılmıştım orada. Bu gene biraz müzik de iyi. Baymıyor da.
A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of
Ama ben
oneself,
yoruldum
isn't
yani.
it?
4 saat 23 dakikadır yayındayım.
If I'm not
Kendi başıma.
mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind.
Evet, bunu sorduk. Kişileri de bitirdik, değil mi? Tamam. Tamam, astronomi kulesini arayacağız. Sonra bu var, bu var. 2 tane mi kaldı? Lan 2 tane kalmış ya. Bitirsek mi acaba? Bir 10 dakika mola vereyim de bitirelim ya. He, bitirelim vallahi. Hadi bir 10 dakika mola vereyim.